Hello nurses! Welcome back sa ating fast drills ulit sa Community Health Nursing concept for the board exam. We are going to discuss the part 4 of our Community Health Nursing video series, which is your methodologies in Community Health Nursing. Ito yung kadalasan ginagamit natin for the Community Health Nursing Action Plan. First topic under methodologies is wala nang iba kundi ang inyong epidemiology. So epidemiology is the study of the occurrence of disease, factors affecting the disease distribution, patterns which is considered as the backbone of disease prevention. Very important po ito during epidemic and pandemic po ng mga sakit sa ating community. Now, in relation to your epidemiology, pag-uusapan natin ang occurrence. Pag sinabing occurrence, the pattern is that when there is an increased occurrence and decreased resistance, meaning it may lead to a health status problem. Again, yung health status problem, yun yung pagkakaroon ng maraming nahawa ng sakit doon sa isang community or particular community. The other one is your multi-causal theory. For the multi-causal theory, it has three factors that we need to consider. Meron natin tinatawag na AHE. AHE is your agent, host, and environment. Hindi po pwedeng mawala ang isa dyan kapag sinasabi natin disease causation. Tinatawag din po siyang ecological triad. Okay? Or yung tinatawag natin epidemiologic triad. Another one is immunity. Pag sinabi naman natin immunity, guys, is the ability of a person to decrease its susceptibility to a certain illness or disease. Ibig sabihin, pinapataas natin ang kanilang immune system. Pag sinabi natin immunity, may apat po yan. Meron tayong natural active, natural passive, and your artificial active and artificial passive. Natural active po, tinatawag natin kapag ang katawan natin is na-develop ng sarili niyang antibody because na-expose sa antigen. Natural passive naman po kapag ang pinasok na sa katawan mismo is yung actual na antibodies. Artificial naman kapag ginawa sa laboratory, okay, at inintroduce sa katawan natin yung antigen. For example, immunization, artificial passive naman po is yung mga anti-serum. Pag gumaling ka sa isang sakit, natural active po yon. Natural passive naman po kapag ikaw ay pinasahan, for example, immunoglobulin through your colostrum. Okay. Another one is the types of clients in the epidemiology. Meron po tayong apat. The contact, which is the exposed without harbor. Na-expose lang po pero hindi niya nakuha yung sakit. Carrier naman po pag na-expose at nagkaroon siya ng sakit pero wala siyang simptomas. Suspect naman po yung na-expose at nagkaroon siya ng simptomas at para at pag na-confirm po ito through laboratory test, yung tinatawag nating patient. Pag sinabi nating distribution naman po, this is the transfer of the disease. We are referring to the chain of infection. Apat na elemento po yan: infectious agent, reservoir, portal of exit, mode of transmission, portal of entry, and susceptible host. Ang pinakamahinang link is the mode of transmission. At pag patterns naman po, apat yan: SEEP, S is for sporadic, seasonal, intermittent, or occasional po yung pagkakaroon ng sakit or epidemya. Endemic po pag all throughout the year meron yung sakit. Epidemic naman po pag may outbreak or biglang tumaas yung number ng sakit. And pandemic naman po pag more than 2 countries na ang affected ng epidemya. Okay? Epidemia. Then, NES naman po is under your epidemiology, meron tayo tinatawag na NES. NES is your National Epidemic Sentinel Surveillance System, which is a hospital-based information system that monitors the occurrence of infection and disease with the outbreak potential. Ibig sabihin po, this is actually your reporting system. The legal basis of this, the old law is Republic Act 3573, the new law is Republic Act 1133-2. Parehas po ang batas na ito nang nagre-report ng communicable disease, pero ang bago po is 1133-2. Pag lumabas po silang dalawa sa board exam, ang una mo pong isagot is 1133-2, saka mo lang isasagot si 3573 kung wala po ang 1133-2. Disease surveillance po, dalawang bagay po ang ating diagnosis pag sinabi natin NES. Meron tayong laboratory diagnose and clinically diagnose. Pag sinabi natin laboratory diagnose, kailangan natin ng laboratory test to confirm the condition. While clinically diagnose naman po, kapag nakita natin ang mga symptoms and a group of symptoms, pwede na natin siyang i-confirm yung condition. For the laboratory diagnose, 5 sakit lang naman po under this. Number 1 is your cholera, followed by your hepatitis A and B, malaria, and your typhoid fever. The rest po is your dengue, diphtheria, measles, meningococcemia, neonatal tetanus, non-neonatal tetanus, pertussis, rabies, leptospirosis, acute flaccid paralysis, or your poliomyelitis, all are clinically diagnosed. Ibig sabihin, kahit walang confirmatory test na laboratory test, pwede na siyang ma-confirm. That is under your NES or National Epidemic Sentinel Surveillance System under Republic Act 1133-2 or the reporting of communicable diseases. Another one po is the vital statistics. Ang vital statistics naman po is a systematic study of vital events in the community. So, important details po dito is your morbidity and mortality, wherein morbidity and mortality indicates the state of the community and the success and failure of the health workers. Ibig sabihin po, kapag mataas po ang nagkakasakit at ang namamatay, failure po ang community health services or public health services. Pero pag bumababa ang morbidity at mortality, ibig sabihin po, successful naman po ang ating mga community health programs, including the community health workers that are implementing it. Okay. For the sources of data in your vital statistics, kinukuha natin sa magitan ng population census. Ang population census po ginagawa sa Pilipinas every 5 years. Registration of vital data, katulad ng mga birth certificate and death certificate. Health survey, yung mga ginagawa natin na health survey through our researches and studies and researches. Okay? Those are the sources of data in the vital statistics. For the crude rate po under your vital statistics, this refers to the general population or the total living population or yung population na meron tayo on a particular year. Okay? Kadalasan po yan ina-update siya before the start of the mid-year population, which is yung July 1. Okay? Crude birth rate referring to the birth rate, and this is the natural growth or increase of population. So basically, ang formula po natin dito is the total live births over, okay, the total mid-year population times 1,000. For crude death rate naman po, katulad ng birth rate, in comparison to birth rate, ito naman po yung pag-decrease sa population. So ibig sabihin, these are all deaths regardless of the cause. Ang formula natin dito is the total number of deaths in a given year over the estimated population of the same year as of July 1 times 1,000. Next is infant mortality naman po. Ito yung mga namatay, okay, below 1 year old or below 12 months. Ang infant mortality rate po nahati sa dalawa. Meron tayong neonatal rate and post-neonatal rate. Pag sinabi natin neonatal rate, ito naman po yung mga namatay within the first 28 days of life or the first month of life, and after 28 days naman po, basta less than 12 months yung bata, considered naman po siyang post-neonatal. So first year of life, infant mortality rate or less than 12 months. Maternal mortality rate naman po, ito yung mga namatay ng may kinalaman sa pagbubuntis. So pag ikaw or pag may buntis na namatay pero ang cause of death niya is hindi pagbubuntis, for example, nasagasaan ng pison, hindi po siya kasama sa maternal mortality rate. Ang isinasama lang po dito is yung may kinalaman sa pregnancy, childbirth, and puerperium. Yung may kinalaman lang po sa pagbubuntis. Fetal death rate naman po, ito naman po yung wastage. Okay? Ito yung mga to measure the wastage po. Okay? Yung index natin to measure the wastage. Ito yung mga namatay bago pa ipinanganak. Kasama na po rito yung abortion tsaka miscarriage. Abortion is less than the age of viability, while miscarriage naman po pag less above the age of viability pero hindi pinanganak. So kasama na rin po sa fetal death rate yung tinatawag nating stillbirth. Okay. Next, neonatal death rate naman po is less than 28 days. Pag namatay siya within the first 28 days of life, neonatal death rate po yun. Okay, yan po. So during the first month of life. Still, considered pa rin siyang infant mortality rate kasi less than 12 months po ito. Specifically, neonatal death rate. Next, incidence and prevalence rate naman po. Incidence refers to the new cases while your prevalence is the combination of old and new cases. Important din details po itong mga to, kaya kailangan alam na alam nyo. Sex ratio naman po calculates the male and female ratio adults past the age of sexual reproduction. So basically, kinocompute po natin dito kung ilang babae o ilang lalaki ang nakalaan sa kada 100 babae. Formula po nito is male over female times 100. Okay? Times 100. Yan po ang ating sex ratio. Basic concepts of vital statistics na kailangan alam nyo po. Registration of vital events should be done in the place of occurrence. Regardless kung taga saan po yung ating pasyente, okay, basta kung saan nangyari yung pangyayari or event, doon siya irirehistro. Republic Act 3753 is the civil registration law. Under this, i-register natin lahat ng deaths within 24 to 48 hours. Failure to do so, hindi siya magkakaroon ng death certificate or Form 103, hindi pwedeng ilibing yung patay sa sementeryo. So, kailangan may rehistro po yan within 24 to 48 hours para ma-issuehan po sila ng death certificate. Sinong pipirma sa death certificate? Unang upo dyan, si medical officer or kung sino yung attending physician na nag-announce ng death sa hospital. Pag wala po sila sa community, ang pipirma po is si mayor. Pag wala naman po si mayor is the license embalmer. Okay, basta lisensyado po sila. Presidential Decree 651 naman po is the birth registration law. Ito naman, kailangan lahat ng pinanganak ay ma-irehistro within 30 days. Pag hindi nangyari yon, magiging late registration po ang bata. Sino po ang signatory sa birth certificate? Kung sino pong nagpaanak. Kung si doktor ang naglabas doon sa baby, si doktor. Kung si midwife, si midwife. Kung si nurse po dapat ang pipirma sa birth certificate. Okay. Concepts of registration po, jus soli and jus sanguini. Jus soli po is ginagamit natin na rehistro kung nakabase po siya kung saang lugar. Okay? Soil. Ibig sabihin, nakabase siya kung teritoryo mo ba o hindi. Jus sanguini naman po kapag by blood. Okay? By blood naman po. Jus soli ginagamit ng Amerika. Sanguini po ginagamit ng United States of America. De jure and de facto naman po, pag sinabing de jure, de juon, kung saan ka nang galing or original residence mo or domicile mo, yun po ang place of registration. Kapag de facto naman, kung saan ka na-interview at the moment ng interview or ng survey, doon ka irerehistro. De facto, de present. De jure, de juon, kung saan nang galing. De facto, de present at the present moment kung saan ka naroon. Okay. FHSIS naman po is the reporting and recording system in health sector, providing summary of health events per program and monitoring. Basically, ito yung mga coding system na ginagamit natin for reporting. May 4 na components po siya. Number 1 is family treatment record or your individual treatment record, and this is the building blocks. Pwede naman po si target client list, which is the secondary building blocks. Reporting forms naman po yung ginagamit nating reporting forms from the barangay health station or the lowest healthcare facility to the secondary level of healthcare facility, which is your provincial health office. Pag nakarating na yung report natin sa provincial health office, ipapadala na yan sa DOH. Nagamit naman tayo ng output reports. So basically, ganito po yung itsura. Family treatment record, available yan. Okay, meron tayong target client list available sa facility, which is your BHS or the lowest reporting. Ipo-forward po natin yan through the tally form or reporting forms papunta sa munisipyo, which is the means of transmitting. Okay, and from tally forms, output tables naman po siya or the outcome, ipoproceed natin yan kay Provincial Health Office. So, the Provincial Health Office naman po ang magpo-forward ng output tables papunta kay Department of Health. Okay, so that is your FHSIS. These are sample coding system po na ginagamit. E for events, W for weekly reporting, M for monthly reporting, Q for every 3 months, annual naman po kapag by year or every year. Okay, baka lumabas lang po sa board exam. Ang dapat nyo lang tandaan ay ang mga ipapash ko po sa screen. We have your E-coding system. So, FHS E1, E2, E3, W1, M2, Q1, A1. Notification of death, very important na alam nyo. E2 is which is your maternal death. E3 naman is perinatal report. So those are the important details na kailangan alam nyo with regards to the methodologies in community health nursing. And this ends the CHN Part 4. Abang-abang lang po sa CHN Part 5, 6, 7, and 8. Uumpisan po natin ang discussion sa DOH programs. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment and share naman po this video para mas marami pang makaalam before the board exam tomorrow. Okay.